What's up guys, I've enjoyed. This is just a little something I'm working on. I'm actually working on a version 1.1 for the Ghostbox firmware. This is ATS-20 radio. You guys have saw my other one probably. If you bought one of these already, this update will probably be available to you in some way, shape or form. But it's not ready yet. It's not ready for to be put to the public, so we'll figure that out when the time comes. Anyway, this is just a little demonstration of what I'm working on. So I'm going to basically switch on the radio and show you the radio side of things. So if you go into sweep mode, just by toggling the button, there is two functions, the AGC button and the mode button. We're going to press the AGC button first. And as we can see, it went to muted mode. So as we can hear, it's attempting to mute the audio. It's not bulletproof at this point, but it's definitely a little bit of improvement. If you don't like lots of noise, you can basically do that. Not only can you mute it, you can also set the sensitivity. So you can basically, if you're finding it's not really allowing responses to come through, you can basically back off the sensitivity here. So you basically make your choice. Let's put it to 30, which will reduce it, and press the mode button again to go back to the radio. If you're still finding it's too over sensitive, you can adjust it to your needs basically. So that is basically the two core functions. I'm going to mute this at the minute just to so you can hear me talking. That's the primary function I've added to the actual physical radio. So when you're using this in standalone mode, you have those controls already at hand. So the additional thing we've added is working on a UI. So this will connect over serial. So when this is ready for prime time and ready to be sold, you will also get a serial data cable. You'll also get the software to do this, and the relevant things that you'll need to get started. So I'm basically going to show you what happens. So it's currently connected to the computer. The radio is currently on, and we simply press the connect button here. My serial port for this is USB COM port 9, so I'm going to connect to that, and you'll see the radio boots again. After it boots, it's going to do a band spectrum scan, and what this is I'm basically going to try and explain to you the best way I can. So what it's doing is scanning the band that you're currently on, and these peaks are basically what could be potentially broadcasting radio stations. So when you're doing a Ghostbox session, you can refer to these points and see if it was radio that came through or if it was a response. So let me just show you. Let's start scanning. You can also control the radio remotely. I'll show you here. So I'm going to adjust the volume. As you can see, the volume is adjusting. So you can do all this over serial. You can also adjust the frequency manually as well. You can adjust the speed and the different modes. So I'm going to select the Ghostbox mode. As you can see, I'm not touching the radio. And now it's in Ghostbox mode. You can also still adjust the volume here, and we can switch to the muted mode like so. And if you look over here, we can then see, let me just turn the muted mode off for a second. We can then see the frequencies going over this dial here. If you hover over it, it kind of shows you what frequency that is. So when we're hitting these peaks, you'll hear blips of radio. So it's mostly quite noisy down this end, and then we get into the kind of broadcasting range, 97 megahertz upwards. So as you see, when it hits these peaks, you're hearing blips of radio. So let me just stop that a minute and turn down the volume so you can hear me talking. So that's just a visual representation of what's actually happening on the frequency band. This obviously needle is basically the actual frequency that's on at the minute, so that'll populate along the line, and basically when that needle hits any one of these peaks, you'll be able to hear on the radio if that is an actual broadcasting range, something broadcasting like a local radio station. So then when you're doing your ghost box session, you can basically rule out if it was radio or not. It's just a little something I added in just to kind of make things a little bit easier when you're doing a ghost box session, to basically rule out false positives from broadcasting stations. I know some people believe that the broadcasting stations help with the communication, etc., but yeah, the other people would beg to differ. If there was a way to basically rule out all of that, I mean, you could do that with this radio. You could basically just detune it by unplugging the radio, and basically this whole flat thing, in fact, just for proof of concept, I'll do that for you. So I've unplugged the radio. Now watch the graph here. If I scan the band again, you'll probably see there'll be nothing on here. It'll be basically just a flat line. So there is a little bit of stuff. I think I'm in... I might be selected to the internal antenna. Let me try that again. So basically a lot of these peaks are gone. No, I've selected the M antenna, that's why you're still seeing it. Let me try again. So there's not as many peaks there. They'll probably still pick up radio, I'm not sure. Let's try. Just for the sake of it while we're here. You probably won't hear anything. You can still kind of hear it.
Drop.
So yeah, that doesn't work. Thought I'd better test it. So basically I'm plugging an antenna, you can still hear actual radio from it. I'm not actually sure how you could stop that. Anywho, but by definition it is a ghost box. Let me just turn it off. It's sweeping the band like a ghost box. It is by definition a ghost box. But yeah, detuning it doesn't really do much, unfortunately. As we can see, we can still hear radio broadcasts. But yeah, that's just a little overview of what I'm working on. Web UI, stuff like that. Basically, you guys will be first to know when this is up and ready, and when these units will have this firmware built in. Yeah, for those who already have one, we'll figure out something in the future how to get yours updated. Hopefully just by sending you the firmware and you can upload it yourself. It's a very easy process. There's nothing really technical about it. And there'll be some kind of end user license agreement to make sure that you're not leaking it out to everybody. Stuff like that. That's basically my main concern, because this has taken an absolute long time to basically get working. Just basically the radio firmware here, as you see, there's not just one part of the code, there's a whole bunch of stuff, and this code is like already where is it? It's like 15,000 lines long, 1,500 lines long. So yeah, it's a lot of code, as we see. This all had to be rewritten for this Ghostbox firmware. Lots and lots and lots of it. And it's not just that, there's all sorts of things I had to modify. With the rotary encoder, all this kind of stuff, the definitions, all this stuff had to be edited to work, so it's not a simple process. So yeah, there we go guys, I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to catch you guys in the next one. Bye then now.